Hello and thank you for joining us on NTA Nationwide. I'm Najat Tijani. The leader of the proscribed Islamic movement in Nigeria, Sheikh El-Zazzaki, and his wife Zinat have returned to Nigeria on board an Ethiopian airliner at about 11:45 Friday morning. Let's join Emmanuel Ayimiro, who was at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, when the plane landed, to tell us what transpired.
Journalists waited in vain at the arrival exit of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, to catch a glimpse of the IMN leader, Ibrahim Babangida, and his wife Zinat, who returned from India. A reliable source told NTA that security operatives whisked away the IMN leader. Now that he's back in Abuja, it is not clear whether he's back to continue with his treatment or to face his trials. El-Zazzaki departed for India on Monday this week, but could not proceed with the medical treatment after audio message said to have come from him saying he does not wish to continue with the treatment in India. Emmanuel Ayimiro, NTA News.
Meanwhile, it was another busy day for President Muhammadu Buhari in Daura, Katsina State, as Nigerians from all walks of life converged on his country home in demonstration of support for nation building. The latest to visit was the President of the Senate, Ibrahim Babangida, who reassured the Nigerian leader of genuine commitment by the National Assembly to support his efforts at bequeathing a worthy legacy for generations yet unborn. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
Just returning from the journey of faith to Saudi Arabia, the spiritually reawakened President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, was accompanied to Daura by principal officers of the Senate across party lines. The mission of the Senate leadership here is not only to pay deference respect to the President, but also to renew its loyalty and commitment to him and indeed Nigeria. Issues critical to peace, unity and prosperity of the country were discussed between the President and his guests during the closed-door engagement that lasted about 1 hour. The highly elated President Buhari was seen exchanging light teas in repartee with the lawmakers as they depart for Abuja.
I will not smile.
Speaking to newsmen on the visit, Senate President Ahmed Lawan was emphatic that the 9th Senate is irrevocably committed to the promising vision and mission of President Buhari for sustainable future of the country.
We have renewed that commitment to Mr. President, that we are going to remain committed and focused on what we should be doing to ensure that Nigerians get a very good and better deal, really, in the current dispensation. So we are already primed and waiting for the next line of action, which is going to be on the budget 2020, which we believe that the executive will work so hard to present to the National Assembly at the end of September, and then we are promised that we'll do everything and anything possible to ensure that we pass it before we go on Christmas break by the grace of God.
Before going on annual recess, the Senate screened and confirmed all the nominees of the President for ministerial positions, and NTA News sought to know the Senate President's impression on their capacity to drive the next level agenda.
These people are people of great experience, of great deal of patriotism and commitment. They have shown capacity, all of them. And in fact, one thing that was even more encouraging was the capacity exhibited by the ladies nominated, I think 7 of them. So we are looking forward with excitement to working with them. We are going to be very strict with our oversight. We intend to make it so that everybody is on his toes to perform. Mr. President will be leaving by the grace of God at the end of this tenure in 2023. Mr. President has expressed his desire to leave legacies. We are with him on this all the way, and the only way we can ensure that legacies are left by Mr. President is to insist that whoever is given a responsibility performs that responsibility. So we are going to work with those ministers and any head of agency to ensure that the policies of government, the legislations that we pass are implemented to the letter to ensure that we are able to achieve those things, laudable and noble programs and projects of the federal government of Nigeria.
More Nigerians continue to pay homage on the president. From Daura, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And from Daura, we look at diplomatic ties, where the Nigeria film industry has continued to attract international attention, with Latin America becoming the new frontier following the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between Nigeria and Argentina to collaborate in film production. Argentina's interest in Nigerian films is said to be triggered by the role of a Nigerian slave in actualizing its independence. Ngozi Silva, Technical, tells us more.
This endorsement by the Nigerian partners in the Memorandum of Understanding clears the coast for a prominent Argentina film producer, Cesar Pablo, to bring his expertise to bear in explaining to the world, through film production, the contribution of a female slave from Nigeria to the independence of Argentina over 200 years ago. The co-producer and financier of the film project, Mohamed Hayatu Ahmed, Maria Remedios Del Val's role is similar to other Nigerian women like the legendary Queen Amina, whose bravery contributed to the liberation of the black race, and now Argentina cannot be forgotten in a hurry.
200 years ago, in the 18th century, a woman was captured here from Lagos and was sailed to South America, precisely Argentina. So she played a key role in gaining Argentinian independence. But unfortunately, history was rewritten, and that part of it was not carried along. That's why we decided to make it a 60-40 participation.
This collaboration is intended to foster bicultural exchange, inject professionalism in Nigerian film production, with some parts of the film shot in Nigeria.
Nigeria never produced any Oscar award-winning movie. This kind of collaboration will help to bring Nigeria enterprise in the area of motion picture to the front burner where it rightly deserves.
The MOU between Nigeria and Argentina is also expected to strengthen cooperations in trade and investment between the two nations. In Abuja, Ngozi Silva, Technical, NTA News.
And speaking of cultural ties, trans-border travels with poor transportation and communication systems, religious missionaries and expeditions of the olden days were responsible for the separation of families, relatives and friends who, for circumstances beyond their control, settled in countries or towns other than theirs. This was played out when the Gambian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Amadou Sheikh Umar Tal, traced his long-separated relatives to El Leman district in Hadejia Emirate of Jigawa State, where he celebrated the just-concluded Eid al-Kabir with them. Muhammad Musa Askira completes the report.
History books show that Sheikh Umaru Al-Futi, the founder of Tekolo Empire, the spiritual and military commander of Tijaniya sect in what is now known as Guinea, Senegal, Gambia and Mali, left Futa Toro in Senegal for expedition across West African sub-region in the early years of the 20th century. Yelliman town in Hadejia Emirate of Jigawa State in Nigeria was one of the places he visited, where he left his grandsons and daughters. Those left behind were the great-grandfathers of the present Sarki of Yelliman, Sardauna Habib Tal, who is also the Khalifa of Sheikh Umar Al-Futi. In a surprising move to reunite the two separated families by distance, the Gambian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Ahmadu Sheikh Umar Tal, traveled to Jigawa State to spend the Eid al-Kabir celebration break with his Gambian relatives based in Nigeria. While at the Yaliman town, the High Commissioner Ahmadu Sheikh Umar Tal was accompanied by the Khalifa Sardona Habib Tal to pay homage on the Emir of Hadejia, Alhaji Adamu Abubakar Maji, where he thanked the Emir and the people of Hadejia for accommodating his relatives and treat them in no different way as their own people.
Since independence, we have been working very closely, and Nigeria, being the big brother, has actually helped the Gambia a lot over the years, through technical assistance and so on. So we are very much grateful to the government of Nigeria.
The Sarki of Yaliman, Sardona Habib Tal, who took time to explain the long-standing relationship, described Nigeria and Gambia as one country separated by distance, as two countries have many things in common. The reunited brothers agreed to sustain the rekindled brotherhood prompted by the visit of the High Commissioner. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
And on the security front, President Muhammadu Buhari has urged state governments to be more proactive in securing the lives and property of their people. This, he said, is necessary towards complementing his administration's genuine efforts at tackling acts of criminality for peace and prosperity. The president stated this at an audience with the governors of Kano, Katsina and Zamfara states in Daura. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president also inaugurated more road projects executed by the Masari administration.
Before the closed-door engagement with the governors, President Muhammadu Buhari interacted with the service chiefs led by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Abayomi Olonishakin. Details of their discussions were not made public, and efforts to hear from any of them were unsuccessful. At the meeting with the governors, the president harped on the need for sustained efforts at achieving peace and security, which he described as prerequisites for any meaningful development. His administration, he said, is committed towards protecting the lives of Nigerians and setting the country on the path of peace and prosperity, saying, however, that this can only be achieved if the governors key into the various national security initiatives. The governors, who used the opportunity to brief the president on the security situation in their states and the way forward, told newsmen that the meeting was fruitful.
Everybody in Nigeria is happy with what we are doing. Before, you cannot pass through Jibia, Kauranamuda road. Now we have opened the road. So what is the behind the success achieved so far? As a human being, first of all, you have to be trustworthy, you have to be direct, and don't deceive. So we engage these people and we engage them fairly, and they accepted all the offers we offered to them. As I told everybody, we did not give them money or anything. All the people they released to us is unconditional, without paying any ransom. And we see they even release foreign national from Korea without paying a single kobo. And before I came, he was there about 7 months under captivity. So Zamfara is calm now and is peaceful. So we thank God for that. So I briefed him that now we have achieved a lot of success, and he promised me to do more about security in the state.
Kano is peaceful. Kano has been peaceful. I think it's one of the most peaceful states in the federation. So I also briefed him how we coordinated the security agencies in Kano, and also how we involved the community participation, especially the new emirates that we created. They are actively involved in keeping peace and stability in the state.
So what did he tell you?
He is very grateful. He is happy with the situation, and he has given me every encouragement to continue maintaining peace and stability in Kano.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has defied the early morning downpour to inaugurate 2 more roads projects constructed by Katsina State government under the restoration agenda of the Masari administration. The roads were the 38-kilometer Sapke, the Naunai, Ruankaya road linking 20 agrarian communities in Dutsi and Mashi local government areas, as well as Fago, Kasayal, Kwasarawa, Jirdede, Koza road connecting 4 council areas of Katsina State.
Katsina is an agrarian state. We entirely depend on agriculture and our markets. So our intention is to open up farming communities, access to markets, so that the mobility and the cost of products will be affordable to the consumers as well as beneficial to the farmers.
The governor said 44 other road projects are at various stages of completion. From Katsina, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And from Katsina, we head to Ogun State, where the federal government is working on necessary regulations to further encourage public-private partnership and power distribution in Nigeria. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo stated this at the official
about taking energy distributor megawatt generators.
The governor said it is heartwarming that there were still people who have passion and believe in the national heritage, adding that the festival would open Badagry corridors to tourism.
It's the beginning of something that will make the whole lot bigger, right? And it fits into part of our own team agenda, which were mentioned as entertainment and tourism is one of the cardinal.
And on a positive note,
for job opportunities, but rather we actually use the skills which we have been taught.
I feel very happy and I'm grateful that I can be able to own the skill that
should not. It is expected that
Umara, who worked through the township to assess the level of damage, sympathized with the residents over the incident, assuring them of government's intervention to address the challenges and to provide immediate succor to them.
Workers from the Ministry of Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement in an
high above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of our country's neighbors. Since of this
look at Aims Online.
General Olusegun.
And that's a wrap on NTA Nation.